But yeah, yes, pugilist, how's it going?
Big up, my brother. Yeah, great to see you Friday night at Travis J. That was a great night. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Big up all the other defeaters that was there that night.
Yep. We got every one of the undefeaters. It's Danny Glover Fight Fan TV Live. We're here with the pugilist boy. So yeah, man, what do you want to get into today?
I'm gonna talk about the main fight of the weekend, brother.
Okay, which one? Because there was a few, but no,
man, that fight there. That was sparring practice for David Benavidez. Let's be honest. The real fight of the weekend, Munguia against Rosado, brother.
Oh my God! How can I forget that?
How?
Oh my God! And I watched that. That fight was mad. That was fight of the year.
That's what I'm talking about.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, fight fans. I apologize. Big up the pugilist boy for saving this live right now, because the comment section I'm surprised none of you lot pulled me on this. But yeah, that fight was big. So give me your assessment of that fight, and I'll give you mine after.
Well, to be honest, I didn't think this was going to be the classic that it turned out to be. This looked like a very good fight because Gabriel Rosado is a seasoned veteran. He's no young spring chicken. He's 30-something now. So, but he's a really good, strong, hard fighter. He gives nobody an inch. And Jaime Munguia is a guy that I've always liked. I like this kid. You know, he's obviously won his world title, at the lower weight, and now he's moved up a weight into the middleweight, and he's on the horizon. He's looking at other guys to see who he can pick off now and get himself his second world title at a different weight, which will be middleweight. But this fight, big up Ben Doughty, yeah. But this fight, man, this fight was awesome. I mean, these two guys, for the crowd, they got their money's worth.
So
they really did. Hey, what's going on, Ben?
All good, man. Keep going.
Yeah. So just saying about the Gabriel Rosado versus Jaime Munguia fight. What a fight that was. I really enjoyed that. These two went to town on each other. I mean, Munguia is a great fighter. He's got an absolutely superb engine. You know, he punches in bunches. He has, he's not the hardest guy to hit. He's, I noticed early in the fight, he had good head movement, which the commentators mentioned. He's moving his head more than he usually does. So clearly he's picked up some defensive capabilities, but even still, it soon goes out the window because it's not his style. He's a pocket fighter. He stands in front of you and he lets his hands go. And that's what he was doing. And he was doing it really effectively. But Rosado, every now and again, was giving him licks. And, it just turned out to be a really good fight. Munguia won very well, unanimous decision. He deserved to win very well. And wide point spread. But let's not Rosado, let's not think this was a one-sided fight. This was a great fight for all 12 rounds. Every round was interesting. The rounds that Rosado won, he battered the hell out of Munguia. And that was what we wanted to see, is Munguia took a big, gut check to see, look, here's a guy hitting me. And there was one point where he was hitting him right hand. And it was like, rah! Rosado properly was going for it. And, he's got Freddie Roach in his corner. So, Freddie was motivating Rosado to try and win this fight from the depths of defeat. So, yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Did you manage to watch that fight, Ben?
You know what? I haven't seen it yet, but I've got DAZN, so I can watch it back, I'd have thought, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what you said there, though, because I got the impression from reading the reports that it was a really exciting fight, albeit relatively, you talk about the point spread, albeit relatively one-sided in terms of a clear unanimous decision. Mate, I haven't seen it yet, so I have to, be mindful of that. But when you say that the rounds that Rosado won, he was beating the hell out of Munguia, that is why sometimes I feel that the way of scoring fights is a little bit flawed. I think I probably spoke to you before about this. I believe in 10-8 rounds for dominant rounds that don't have a knockdown in them. The same way I believe that not every knockdown has to be blank, knee-jerk administrated as a 10-8, although obviously most of them are going to be. And the same way I don't believe if you get 2 knockdowns. When people say to me, so if they knock them down twice, is that 10-7? I say probably and generally yes, but you should never have that rule of thumb there, because sometimes it doesn't necessarily, you get fights as well that's competitive every round, but one guy just seems to do a little bit more and you get a shutout. But no, yeah, Munguia, I will catch up with that fight in any case. And also, I've yet to catch up with Benavidez and Tyrone Davis.
Yeah.
I know he's talking about Canelo next, etc., etc. And Canelo has to fight somebody. So that's 2 fights I want to catch up with this week before they become too old news.
Yeah. I'm glad you're here, Ben, because Ben, you actually turned me on to a fighter this weekend that I had seen once before, but I didn't really pay much attention to, and that is Dante Dixon. Yeah,
he looked great. He really did look. I mean, he had shades of Pernell Whitaker almost without being too.
Yeah.
I mean, he just.
Did you see that fight, Dan?
No. Which one? That's.
He was on the card. He was on the undercard at Sheffield. He's a lightweight. He boxed against. McCrory, Jordan McCrory.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Who's more of a super featherweight. He's a chunky little lightweight, this guy. He's black switch hitter, predominantly a southpaw, right? I believe. He's first stance as a southpaw. And he was just great defensively. He had the blocks, the shoulder defense. I don't want to call it shoulder roll. It's so kind of, like check hook, shoulder roll, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know about shades of Ali, that Peter McDonough says. But he just looked a good puncher and a great boxer, great defense. I think, when you see, I've just been watching Wilfred Benitez against Harold Weston from 1977, the first fight, which was a draw, the first blemish on Benitez's record. And what I realised, I'm doing a lot of study because I'm writing the Benitez book as I go and trying to relive some of these moments, or not relive them, live them for the first time. And what you realise is some defensive masters, they weren't all legs like a young Cassius Clay or a Willie Pep or a Gene Tunney. They were actually, there's a lot to be said. Julian McGowan always says, if you can't defend in the pocket, then you can't defend. And this guy just looked like a consummate boxer who could do a bit of everything. He was aggressive, essentially, wasn't he? But a counter-puncher, southpaw, great defensively, got put some pop in the shots. Surprised he didn't get stoppage. And I believe he's with Billy Joe Saunders. I believe Billy Joe manages him. That's what somebody told me.
That's what I did some research and I found that out as well. Yeah, I know there's a lot of footage on YouTube of Billy Joe talking about him and vice versa. Dante talking about Billy Joe's words of advice. But his opponent's got, some really good names on the record. Jordan McCrory had fought in his last 4 fights, had fought Archie Sharp and Zelfa Barrett.
He's more of a super featherweight, I believe, and he did look smaller, but he was a dogged guy, and the fact McCrory to go the distance was quite impressive because it looked to me like he was going to get broken down inside of 8 rounds, and he hung in there doggedly, So Peter McDonough has made the point that Billy Joe, he's confirmed the point Billy Joe manages him. So if he's a mercurially slick southpaw, well, perhaps we shouldn't be too surprised.
So is he from Sheffield then? This kid?
I don't know. Do you know where he's from?
He is from Sheffield. Yeah, he is from Sheffield.
Yeah. Okay. So
he's on Boxrec. He's listed as having Adam Etches as his manager.
Interesting, because I wonder if he's anything to do with. I can't remember who was in his corner. It wasn't Dominic Engel, right?
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't. So, but in any case, it's good to see young fighters coming up because so often what I see, Danny and Tony. So often I see on TV, on UK TV, because there is still this gulf between the American industry and the way their kind of parameters and the ones we have in the UK. And what I often see is I'll see just a geezer who's a ticket seller, often a white ticket seller. Let's be honest, who's got hordes of fans singing some stupid Tom Jones song, mentioning no names, and you think he's nothing special. He's just marketable. I don't see anything particularly remarkable about him in any other sense. You know what I mean? That's what I often feel with the latest prospect who's stuck on these undercards. And to see someone who turns you on a bit from a boxing point of view, which is what we all got into this for in the first place, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, like Nathan Heaney, big team. They've got the coked up fans and they're just singing this stupid. It's all silly, really.
It's not a bit of me. I mean, I'm not saying he can't fight, but I tend to forge a kind of negative stance towards these kind of people because I just, this kind of phenomenon, not these people, I'm not against the person himself, but like you say, it's just, he's marketable, and that is that, and so you can run with it. But you know, that's life. Life isn't fair. How many kids from the hood have you seen who've got talent to burn, who could really go somewhere? But you know, the difficulty is in moving them in the first place because of the way the industry is, you know, today.
Yep. Hey, yeah, good evening, October Red. Big up. Let me give my thoughts on that Gabriel Rosado, Jaime Munguia fight. So that was a fight of the year so far for me. Some great rounds, as you say. The rounds that Rosado won, he won big. So it was, even though the scorecards was definitely unanimous, it didn't tell the story of the fight. And there was even a round where I had a bit of a discrepancy with the ref, because when Gabriel Rosado was pummeling Munguia in the 10th round in the corner, and then all of a sudden, Jack Reese is like, watch for the bell. You know, they did the 10-second clap, and Rosado's onto him. Munguia's in trouble. All of a sudden, Jack Reese has pulled Rosado off, and even the commentators are like, what's he doing? Then he's like, and then the bell goes afterwards, and then the ref's telling Rosado off like he wants to deduct points, going, that's bullshit, what you're doing. I'm thinking, hold on, you've possibly stepped the bell went to try and save Munguia, who was in a lot of trouble getting his head snapped back. So that was a bit annoying, but apart from that, it was a very good gut check. Munguia showed a great chin, because we saw Rosado knocked out that prospect, the Uzbekistan one last time out. And even last year, during the behind closed doors, I had him winning against Danny Jacobs. I thought he got up there on the cards there. So Gabriel Rosado is 35 years old, veteran, but he seems to be in the form of his life career-wise. So it seems he's getting a bit like fine wine. And you know, it's a great Puerto Rico versus Mexican fight. It always brings out a bit, an extra 10% in fighters.
Yeah, for sure. I see we've got Eric Guy on the line there, so we'll say hello to him. The video legend as himself. What else was going to say? I believe that if Golovkin, who has Murato next, right, the Japanese guy, assuming Golovkin comes through that, I believe that they're talking about Munguia versus Golovkin at the next juncture. Have you heard the same thing?
Yeah, we were talking about this just last week. How do you think? Shout out Eric Guy, how's it going? We was just talking.
I've never done this before, so
it's a bit like Celebrity Squares. Remember that?
What?
It's a bit like just a joke.
Squares, yeah.
Yeah, you remember that? Punchlines. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we was talking about this just last week, me and Tony, about how do you feel about the trilogy of Canelo versus Triple G being a few years, and it seems some people say Golovkin's on the descendancy where Canelo's definitely making him up to.
I think so. I mean, I think it's not hot anymore, that idea for me, and I do think Canelo does appear to be his absolute prime at the minute, and Golovkin looks like he lost a few steps, which is not surprising. I mean, I bet he's got to be 37 thereabouts, and I just think when you see him fight that, what was his name, Devoranchenko, which was already 2 years ago, I believe. It was a good fight, and he's still a very, very good fighter, but it just looked like he lost a few steps, a little bit of wear and tear. And Canelo is and
it doesn't help with it doesn't help with the inactivity that Golovkin's had over the last year or two now as well. I think he suffers because he needs to be an active fighter. But my point to Danny last week was that for a guy who's at that stage of his career, it's important for him to get this fight sooner than later. And I wouldn't write him off, because he knows what he did wrong in the second fight.
So what Golovkin does?
Yeah.
Since he's here, let's get Eric's view on it. The second Golovkin Canelo fight, do you watch it, right, Eric?
Bloody hell. I don't watch any boxing. I do boxing every day. So
you don't watch it for fun?
I just joined. It's new for me.
Okay, what needs to happen here, I would suggest, is that when you have a burning desire to speak on whatever we're going to bet back and forth, just interject, give us like a hand signal, and we'll give you the floor. See, some people, talking to all of you, some people think that Golovkin won the second fight, the rematch, but whether he did or not, I think if you want to talk about the narrative of a fight, the story of a fight, he certainly allowed Canelo to do a lot of the things he wanted to do. And you can understand when you talk about what he did wrong, he understands what he did wrong. I think he definitely helped, fed into a situation that led to Canelo winning. And Canelo obviously has always been pretty heavily favoured on the scorecards in any case traditionally. So what do you think? What does he think he did wrong then, Tony?
So I mean, you look at the two first fights, and and he definitely did all he had to do for the first fight. Now Canelo made some changes for the second fight, which worked. Golovkin, now you got to say, I now need to reverse those changes. Yeah, and that's what he didn't get the opportunity to do, because basically what you did was you came into the second fight thinking, I just have to do the same thing I did in the first fight, which was wrong, because Canelo changed his game, and those changes were the effective things that made the fight go his way. So Golovkin now has got 2 fights in his locker that he can say, I know I could beat this guy. However, on the second fight, he came with a different strategy, and I made him look good. So I have to do something now to make the difference in the third fight. Because this, to me...
He won the first fight out of sight, so let's be honest.
Yeah.
He won the first fight out of sight. There's nothing he could have done about that.
Yeah.
They took it away from him, okay? But
yeah,
Canelo does appear to be a different animal now than he was in 2017 even. I mean,
I'm going to put a caveat in here, Ben. My caveat here with Canelo is he getting arrogant? Because to me...
complacent?
Yes, the performance against Caleb Plant shows me complacency.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, did you see that, Danny?
Yeah, but I saw in an interview just before on Fight Week where somebody said, do you think that you're starting to believe in your power too much? He goes, yeah, I am. I love the power. Yeah, I've got the power. So that's why he seems to not really care about losing rounds, because he seems to always have that who can hit you and sort of break you, which he's done to Billy Joe, he's done to a couple of fighters. And also, even with the Golovkin thing, I think the problem is where, if you saw in that last fight with Derek Chenko, who got hurt to the body. Now, we know Canelo is a specialist in body shots, so that will be a very big factor, I think, in the trilogy. But this is why I would prefer to see someone with youthful arrogance like Canelo does, but even obviously he's a lot younger, in David Benavidez fight Canelo, because he's not going to be scared of Canelo like Callum Smith did on retreat mode, just tucking up, trying to look for a shit catch counter. You had Caleb Plant on the retreat. Billy Joe asking for a massive ring, so his game was on the retreat. Abney Yildirim was just a tuck-up turtle punch bag. So you need somebody who's actually going to stick it on him, because no one's actually stuck it to Canelo since Triple G, effectively. Even Kovalev was very laboured, and he was not...
Kovalev, there was something wrong with him that night. I don't know what was going on, but that wasn't Kovalev.
Yeah, there was no crusher mode involved in what he was doing.
I mean, that was ludicrously apologetic, to the point that to me looked like somebody, like you said to a journeyman, right? I want you to go out and do what you usually do, right? Only could you just throw loads of punches, but please don't hit him on the head or body or anything. But could you throw your arms a lot so it looks like you're busy as fuck? But basically, just take the piss, yeah?
Well, let's be honest, Kovalev was in that fight. Kovalev was in that fight. So even despite the fact that he doesn't look like he's bringing the crusher in the game, he's very much in that fight, halfway through that fight.
I didn't think so, Tony. Some people had Kovalev ahead, and I didn't have him ahead at all. I
didn't have him ahead, but he was in the fight.
Canelo wasn't doing much, but he was walking him down. He was blocking everything, and blocking and slipping everything, and landing what shots were there. You know, what shots were landed. I think really. I mean, Kovalev was just so ineffectual. It just looked like, I don't know what to say about it really, other than the fact that, I mean, there's rumours that he's has struggled with alcoholism, and had various things going on, and just needed the payday. He just fought Yard, and Yard, as much as there was a class gap between him and Anthony Yard, he came dangerously close to getting stopped by Yard in that 8th round, and then he gets offered the fight with Canelo, and didn't really appear to be in any real space, mentally or physically to do himself justice. It seemed really. I know what you're saying, that he was. I just didn't. it didn't look to me like he was ever going to win the fight.
Yeah, because it was like 6 or 7 weeks after the Yard fight, so you know, tough fight, tough camp. As we know, he's been known to like the Russian vodka a lot, so
Russian vodka.
No big man in 168 or 175 has big manned Canelo yet. Even what's his name? The other Liverpudlian guy, the other Scouser.
Callum Smith.
No, not Callum Smith. The one he was.
Rocky Fielding. Rocky Fielding.
Yeah, another big guy who was just, come on, another big guy doing nothing. So what? There's been no big guy, big man in Canelo yet.
To be fair, Rocky Fielding had all the kind of prospects of me and Eric turning up for a L'Oreal advert. Throw yourself in that too.
Yeah, it's just like no one. I know David.
I'm just listening. I can't believe all this. I'm just listening. Sorry, but
we should do a bit at the end, by the way. We'll keep it running, but we should do a bit at the end where we ask Eric a few things about his own time in boxing, because shooting back to
ask me questions. In
the previous era, before all this was possible, he's kicked it with Muhammad Ali and Johnny Cash and all sorts. So maybe we'll have a little section in the next.
Go on, ask me questions. Ask me any questions. Answer this once.
Go on.
Any questions you want to ask away.
Yeah, go on. Shall we give him a bit? Otherwise, he's just there in the corner.
Yeah. Let's get
him. Go on.
Listen, you guys. You talked about Canelo all the time. Talk about boxing. All right. Nigel Benn. There we go. There's a subject.
Well, you actually had, I believe you have got a tape of his first fight at the Croydon Fairfield Halls, his first pro fight, which nobody else has got anywhere. It's not online. It's not on YouTube. Do you still have that, Eric?
I do have that fight, yes. It was an ITV production. Somehow I got the tape, but I do have it. I'll give it to Nigel. So yes, he has that fight.
Did you give it to him that night we had the thing in Chigwell?
I gave it to him when we was at the Troxy, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chrissy Morton show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Ask me anything about any of the boxers. Come on, I'll tell you.
There's a question. There's a question for you, Eric. What's the best fight you've ever seen?
The best fight I've ever seen. Well, there's so many. I mean, Lennox beating Ruddock, I think, was a great achievement. Nigel Benn and Logan. Nigel Benn McClellan.
Nigel Benn, Anthony Logan. Can I talk to you about that one? Because I keep telling people about that fight.
I was there.
Nigel Benn got lucky that night, because to me, he picked that uppercut off the floor of the ring. He literally was falling over. He came up with this uppercut like it came from Mississippi.
He was moving to the left and through the left uppercut.
Yeah. But let's be honest, that was not Nigel Benn's greatest hour. It was a great knockout, but he was about to fall over.
Yeah.
Listen, Nigel could punch. There's no doubt about it.
So did Anthony Logan.
Press conferences, I think we had about 3 or 4 press conferences leading up to that. Because this Anthony Logan from Jamaica, he was talking about Mexican road sweepers and he's having a go. And he really got on Nigel's nerves at the time. I mean, I filmed all these press conferences. No one does it. They all do it now. But in the end, at the beginning, I was the only guy doing it all. So I filmed all the press conferences. Now TV companies are calling me now. It's amazing. They're doing the production on Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank. They want video footage of that sort of stuff, press conference training. They're doing this thing on Brendan Ingle, all the early fights, as amateurs and all that. So, yeah, I was at the beginning. So, yeah, Nigel Benn, fantastic days. Yeah, I was at the beginning. I just copied over the video footage of when he split with Frank Warren, Ambrose, and him coming out of the court. Great video footage of them coming out and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I just watched it today. So unbelievable. People don't realise.
I'll tell you one of Nigel's greatest fights for me is the ABA final against Rod Douglas.
Yeah.
Oh, Rod. Yeah.
That was one of the best ABA finals at Wembley Arena that I've ever seen.
He never boxed Rod Douglas in the ABA finals.
No, they wouldn't, because they're both from London. It must have been the London final.
It's North East Div.
No, it was the London final. You're right. Yeah, it was.
I know I'm right.
Yeah. In fact, what club did Rod Douglas box for?
Say again?
What club did Rod Douglas box for?
He boxed at Ball Street and what's the bloody Ball Street? No, Crown and Manor.
Because okay, that's North London, right?
Yeah, North East London, yeah.
You know, and Ian Napper boxed for that club too. So Nigel come out of West Ham, ABC.
Nigel was in the army.
Yeah, he was in the army too. So they
he was in Fusiliers.
That probably would have still been the North East Divs, wouldn't it? Not even the London final.
North East Divs.
Yeah, which is, that's one of them classic. You don't seem to get.
Second?
Eric, you don't seem to get amateur classics like that to the same degree anymore, do you? Or not that we've become aware of anyway. When you think of some of those, you know, let's say that's just a North East Divs final. It's such a classic.
Oh, bloody hell, that was on all day. Some of them boxed 2 or 3 times.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you think the amateur game's gone downhill a little bit?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's very different. The 2 organisations, the England ABA and the London Alliance, but it's still boxing.
Yeah. True. It's still boxing.
And the cream, I will always say this: cream always rises to the top. You know, look at the Olympics. You know, we've been starved of really top class boxing, but you know, I love the Olympics just gone. I thought, you know, likes of what's my favourite guy, Danny? You know the guy, the Cuban guy.
Cruz.
Stevenson.
Cruz.
No, his name's Cruz.
Yeah,
I've seen him. He's Andy Cruz.
And he fought Keyshawn Davis in the final.
He's really good. I mean, he's super good.
He's beautiful. He's a beautiful boxer.
Yeah.
And I always think the cream rises. And that was one fight where I actually went,
the cream
that was
rises
the
in
cream.
the amateurs. It doesn't necessarily rise in the pros because it's too fucking...
So ask me questions about the things I've been involved with. And
sorry about that. Well, tell us about the time you had breakfast with Muhammad Ali. That was a moment.
Muhammad Ali, yeah, I was in the army. I found out he was staying at the Doughty Hotel. So what I'd done, I went down there, sat outside the Doughty Hotel with a little bag full of programmes, hoping to meet Muhammad Ali. Spent about half an hour, about 1980, I think it was. And a guy at the door said, he's in the coffee room. I said, okay. I walked in. He sat here on his own, right? Muhammad Ali, raincoat on, just sitting having coffee. I says, excuse me, Charlie, do you mind if you could sign some pictures for me? Oh, man, yeah. So, signed them all, right? He says, would you like to have a coffee? Yeah, man. So I took a photograph, and then the little Polaroid things would come out the camera. So anyway, Geezer comes over. He said, yeah, excuse me, sir, we're not allowed to take photographs here. I went, don't worry. The mum says, you want to sit down with me? I went, of course I would. So I sat down. We just sat and he signed all his things, and other people joined in, all right? And about an hour we sat down. Nobody, just me and him, and a couple of other people joined in. Amazing. He was here for doing his film, The Freedom Road, I think it was at the time. So yeah, that my first meeting, Muhammad Ali. So yeah, he signed a couple of Ring magazines and all that. I don't even know where they are. I mean, they're worth a few quid. But yeah, anyway, next day. He said, you can come to the filming. You can come to the premiere of Freedom Road if you want. I went, anyway, I rang the Dorchester Hotel. I know what room number he was, right? Because if you ring Muhammad Ali there, and then room 218, whatever it is, called in. Muhammad Ali answers the phone, right? I said, Muhammad, it's Eric. I met you yesterday for the army, the boxing thing. Oh, man. He said, look, I'm really sorry. I'd love to go, but I'm on duty, so I'd really love to come. Oh, and all that shit. We had a little chat. I can't remember what the thing was. I actually got through to him on the fucking phone. Muhammad Ali. Talking to him on the phone. Fantastic. You know, I wish I had on film, obviously. Yeah, can't do it. But, yeah, that's the first meeting with Muhammad Ali. And it's probably one of my greatest experiences. I wrote about a story in an army book. Eric meets Ali. Yeah, it's fantastic. One of my greatest experiences. Obviously, I met Muhammad Ali after that a few more times, but that was my greatest experience, me and Muhammad Ali. Yeah.
Okay. So what would you say was your favourite amateur fight you've seen, which you've been in attendance to?
Amateur fight? Oh, bloody hell, so many. I mean, watching Amir Khan, Ricky Ham, them sort of things coming up. I love seeing David Hay getting double disqualification. Both of them got disqualified in the NABCs.
Yeah.
Things like that. You know, people don't see all that.
Did you see George Collins get knocked out by Gary Stretch?
No, I didn't do that one. No, that was I was still in the army then, so just before my time.
Yeah.
But I started filming in 1987.
Okay, yeah.
I want your knowledge on the amateur game is great, and I like yourself, remember some of the greats of your. I want to give you two names. Give me your feelings on these two guys, Gary Logan and Kevin Lushin.
Kevin Lushin, boxed for South Northern Victory Club. Very good boxer, light welterweight, I think he boxed. Yeah, look, very good fight. He lives in Spain now, I think. He ended up being Nigel Benn's manager or agent or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you have a question?
And Gary Logan?
Gary Logan, nice fellow, boxed for Repton. Turned pro with Maloney. End up as MC. We had some great laughs. End up travelling somewhere. We went out of Belfast. We stayed in Belfast. We had some parties and all sorts of things. But Gary's a nice guy. He trained, does personal training a lot. I've done a lot of his pro videos for him. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So did you have the Bobby Ward versus Amir Khan?
Yes.
Because that was the last.
I think Bobby Ward a little while back. I think it was a boxing show. And Amir Khan, yeah, they boxed in the schoolboy finals or an ABC, schoolboy finals or junior ABS. I can't remember what it was. 34 kilos or 54 kilos. Yeah, he beat 1 point.
Yeah, I think it was the NABCs, you know, class.
I won the NABC finals.
I took Bobby Ward on the pads once at Repton when he'd already packed it in, but he just came down for a workout one evening when the seniors were training. And I said to him, because I was aware that he's the last English guy, like you said, to beat Amir Khan. And he's only young still. And I asked why he packed it in or why he didn't want to do it anymore. And he just said, it's not in me anymore, you know. But,
who's that, Bobby Ward?
Yeah, he said, it's not in me anymore, which, you know, I understand what he means.
His brother Martin Ward is a great fighter, great pro.
Yeah, absolutely. But Johnny Ward, Eric, was undefeated. He was something like 36-0 as an amateur. Then he just packed it in as well. He just didn't stop boxing, like the travellers do sometimes.
Like Billy's brother. Billy Joe's brother.
Tom is his name. Tom Saunders.
Billy Saunders, yeah. They both won schoolboys on the same day. Yeah, great fight. I actually found Your Call, Billy Joe Saunders. It was a show. I can't remember what show it was. It might have been a Repton show. But it's a supporting bout. Billy Joe Saunders won about 11, I think. And I filmed him. Yeah, he's got the video. Done the video for that. I've done a few videos for him. He actually helped me out because obviously because I don't work anymore. I suffer mental problems. Unfortunately, you know, I suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. Ex-serviceman. I'm an army veteran, and I do suffer mental problems. So I'm not as cheerful as I used to be. All right, it's just one of the things with me. So bear with me. But once you start connecting with boxing stuff, it boosts me up. I suffer depression and anxiety. Talking like this, ask me questions. I love it.
Well, here's a good question. Here's a good question, Eric. Seeing as you've got Tony Cox, Danny Wright, and Ben Doughty on the live, can you name us your favourite fight or a standout fight from all three of us, which you would have filmed at one point?
All three of you? No.
He's only filmed like 2 of mine.
I remember good fights.
Yeah, he's only filmed 2 of mine, I think, that I'm aware of.
I call him filmed during the Northwest Dibs, Brent Channel or whatever it was, wasn't it?
You did, yeah.
Ben, yeah.
You did. I lost anyway, so.
Yeah, Eric, he filmed. You filmed my day.
Ben was in the opposite corner. When I boxed charity 2 years ago, when I was diagnosed with diabetes, I decided to box for charity. And Chrissy Morton said, "Oh yeah, we'll have you on there." And I decided to fight. I rang Julius Francis up. I said, "Julius, you want to do this thing, exhibition like for charity for diabetes?" "Yeah, of course you can." Anyway, I put it up. Anyway, next thing, Gary James was ringing from Scotland. "Hey, I couldn't do it. He don't fight." I went, "Brilliant." Anyway, Robert Smith in the ball. So Gary Jacobs wants to do an exhibition. Is that all right? No, he's a board official. He can't do it. Oh, me. You sure? Anyway, I had a plan. George Foreman boxed 5 guys one night in Toronto. 5 fighters.
Yeah, he did.
And my plan was to fight 5 champions in one night. And that's what I did. And the more lined up, Mackenzie, spoke to Duke, yeah, here, turn up, great. Jason Matthews, yeah, I'll do it, great. Glenn Catley, no problem. Johnny Nelson, I'll be there. Julius Fonzie, yeah. 2 for the fight. Jason Matthews pulled out, personal problem, I understand that. But yeah, I ended up fighting 4 champions in one night. Ben was in the opposite corner. Yeah. Warming up. I'm warming up. Ben suddenly with his little camera, hey, someone asked me a question about a left hook or whatever. Oh no, Ben, I'm trying to warm up. What are you doing with me? But yeah.
That was the old palm down, palm facing argument.
What?
That was the old palm down, palm facing argument.
But Ben, I'm in the changing room with these champions. We're trying to work out, warm up. You're trying to do something about a left hook. Shouldn't have been there. All right. No, seriously.
Ben's favourite subject.
Been out of the way.
Ben will bring that up with anyone.
To be fair, it was very remiss of me, you know, trying to trivialise such a serious occasion. It was.
Everyone's getting ready, right? We're warming up. You're walking in with a camera. You shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
That's my point. All right. I'm warming up. They was trying to get me out. Well, must get out. Bloody hell, I haven't even warmed up. But anyway, it was a great fight. Guys turned up. We had a bit of fun. The only one that hurt me was Glenn Catley. He threw a shot. And I thought, fuck me, I'll get a move here. But the only one. But listen, it was great. I made history. I boxed 4 champions in one night. But diabetes, I was 61 years of age.
There was a picture of us in Boxing News as well later on.
Yeah, got put in there. Yeah, they've done it. First time any a white collar.
I've managed to crop it so it just looks like I'm with the champions. I'm only joking. I was joking. I said I've managed to crop it so it looks like I'm just with the champions.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Horace Douglas was in my corner.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I had a couple of unlicensed fights in '96. I had Horace Douglas always in my corner. Always have Horace Douglas in my corner.
Really? So Horace always did your corner in the unlicensed fights?
Everything, yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
I filmed his wedding. Yeah, I've been friends with Horace. Great man. We're still in contact. I still in contact with loads of boxers, all friends. I talk to them every day, but it's between me and them, you know.
Yeah. Well, you've been trained by Emmanuel Stewart too, haven't you? You've done sessions. You did a few sessions with Emmanuel Stewart too.
Manny, yeah. I was training with Manny up when we got Manny as Lance's trainer. I had to pick Manny up, so I got to the airport, picked him up. So Frankie, hey, don't tell anyone you're picking him up because he obviously they want anyone to know. So I know I've enough one, mate. So yeah, picked Manny up, and obviously I've known him Manny for years. So we've gone. The press conference I think was the Connaught rooms. We had to go to the back stairs. They had the press conference. There's all doing the press conference. Follow me, Manny. Follow me. So we've gone up there, little door. This is very good. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present Dennis Lewis's new trainer. His face still standing by me. Bloody go, oh, fucking hell, what's he fucking doing? But yeah, they walked down the stairs, they had the press conference, yeah. And that's how we know Dennis's next trainer managed to do it. Lovely guy, driving around, play music, showed me all his photographs, and he's been contacting me to ring him up in the States at his home and his private phone number. Yeah, every time, yeah. Manny was fantastic. He's great stories. You know, there's one of the great trainers.
Remember that story I told you about Manny Stewart, Ben?
Say again? What?
Remember do you remember the story about me and Manny Stewart? I went out to see the Kronk in Detroit.
Yeah.
And who was it? Oh, mate. Who fought Tommy Earns?
Who fought Tommy Earns? Everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
No, the British guy.
British guy. George Gilbody.
Yeah, Dennis Andrews was out there. He was at the Kronk when I went there.
Yeah.
And Dennis Andrews took me to Emmanuel Stewart's house.
Yeah.
What's it?
How was it?
He was a really nice guy.
That was an amazing time. Dennis looked after me in Detroit. I met all the boys, Overcar, Tommy Boom Boom Johnson. They were all out there at the time. There were some great fighters in that gym at the time. I mean, there was guys that I probably didn't even recognize at the time because obviously you had, you know, the likes of the McClellans and, you know.
Bill McKenty.
Yeah.
Hill McKenty was a while back, but yeah.
Yeah.
He was the first world champion for the Cron, Gil McKenty.
But Manny Stewart, when the Real Fight Club, they used to do these white collar boxing shows. It started off years ago.
Yeah, boxing.
And funny enough, Manny Stewart was in the corner of one of them. It was at the Marriott Hotel, Park Lane. And he actually worked the corner of one of the white collar boxers. But Manny cheap.
Oh, so was that Real Fight Club the one where Spencer used to train people down at Liverpool Street?
Yeah.
Real Fight Club,
Yeah, Larry
Alan
Lacey. Now, Alan Lacey promoted the show at Brixton Academy.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to talk about.
Go on in. Ask a question.
Well, were you there that night? Just in case these guys don't understand, or they probably do.
I was there.
It was a show at the Brixton Academy. I can't remember what they called it. Something Mania they called it. And it was Ambrose and Alan Lacey collaborated on it. It was Alan Lacey's launch into the bigger world of professional boxing. He had a promoter's license and all that. And then there was a bit of a trouble. The show was beset with problems. One was that John Mugabe was apparently his license and lapsed, they said. Yeah. So he just had to do an exhibition instead with Andy Wright, instead of it being a proper fight. Gary Stretch and Curtin Lang were also on the bill. Long story short, it looked like the coffers didn't stretch enough to pay most of the fighters and officials on the bill, so they say. So Alan Lacey is supposed to have faked a heart attack before escaping through the gents' toilets window. And it was all just a bit of a kerfuffle, wasn't it, Eric?
Oh, right. Okay.
Go on.
So the story. Right. I've done all the press conferences leading up to all that. So the fight night. So anyway, Mugabe was going to box Andy. Anyway, he failed his eye test, so the fight could be made. And Ambrose is going mad. Anyway, Simon Block's here. So I said to Ambrose, listen, I said, Mugabe can actually do an exhibition fight. Really, I went, it's in the rules. Boxing got to control rules. If a boxer's licensed, and he wants an exhibition bout, they're allowed to do it. Anyway, we spoke to Simon Block, and Ambrose said, is that right? He went, he could do an exhibition. Anyway, Simon Block said to me, why did you say that to him? I went, I wanted to save the show. Anyway, it was an exhibition. Anyway, bout started. I don't think Mugabe understood the word exhibition.
No.
He started the grey-haired referee.
Larry O'Connell?
Who?
Larry O'Connell?
Larry O'Connell was the referee. And, they started throwing punches. Andy Wright thought, I better throw a few punches here. You don't mess with Mugabe. You see, we don't mess with Mugabe. Anyway, started punching. Stopped it a few times. Anyway, stopped in the second round. It was an exhibition, but, Larry O'Connell stopped in the second round. Mugabe.
That guy could punch like a mule.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, yeah.
And did you see, were you privy to the kind of commotion afterwards about where the price had gone and where was the money? What
happened, Alan Lacey had gone, everyone had gone, went up to the office, the big briefcase there, with tickets and money. So I rang Ambrose up. I bet, no one recorded this, are they?
No one's recording it. This is all just a really private conversation.
Right. Yes, so I found all the money in checks. So I rang Ambrose up. I said, Ambrose, I've got the briefcase. Alan Lacey left his briefcase here. What's in it? Oh, there's checks and money and tickets. Right, bring it back to me next day. Anyway, Monday took it the next day and gave him the briefcase with the money and all that. Yeah, there's loads of money in there and checks.
So the money was there to pay people. It was there.
Yeah, the money was there. There's lots of money.
Why had Alan gone then, I wonder?
I don't know. He didn't jump out the window because it's 2 floors up. He wouldn't. I think he's just going to run up. I don't think he jumped out the bloody window. If you've been in Brixton Academy, it's 2 floors up. He wouldn't jump out the window. That's just hearsay.
I'll have to change it.
But I had the briefcase. I took the briefcase.
Yeah.
It had loads of money in it.
Really?
I'm sure I kept a few notes.
Yeah.
As you do. Little wedge.
It's still odd, the whole story. I feel it's unresolved still. I've always been fascinated by this little vignette in British boxing history, and I still don't feel I understand what really went down.
Tell me, I'll tell you what happened. Yeah,
Well, Ben,
he done a runner. Some of them got paid. The only thing I think Andy Wright got paid. Also, I was on Justin Fortune was on.
Yeah, who fought
That
Lewis.
boxing Leonard Lewis.
Yeah,
Straight, and that's how I met Freddie Roach.
wicked.
Another story.
so Ben, you've got to change your book now because the annals of history.
Yeah. One sec. It says here.
I remember what he's speaking.
The way it says here.
Yeah, Justin
This is how
Fortune.
the chapter starts, right? It says.
Again?
Hang on, but where are we? I'm just looking.
I don't
for the
need
way
looking
I've
book.
described it. Yeah.
Ben, I don't need looking books. Remember me. I was there.
Okay, here you go. Look, the first line, right, of the chapter 11 called "Hard Knocks for Life." It says Alan Lacey was a ducker. Alan Lacey was a ducker and diver, but had also been known to jump out of windows when the occasion demanded. So I'm gonna have to change that. Yeah.
I wrote that.
Huh?
This is
What?
this is Ben's.
You?
This is the third instalment of my autobiography. Not to be ostentatious.
You wrote it?
Me.
But how do you know you come out of the window? You weren't there.
Of course not. But I'm not describing it in the first person.
Come out of the window.
Hey?
You wrote a guy jumping out a window. It didn't fucking happen.
No, okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Obviously, it's
Oh,
not
no, but if you write a book,
What have you started, Dan? What have you started?
Ben, listen. I was
We've
there.
diverted off our
The
subject.
stories I tell because I was there.
Yeah.
What year was this? What year was this?
This was like 1993, yeah, I believe. What did it say? Until
We had the press conference we had at Chapel Market, some restaurant.
1993, the summer of 1993. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was only 7 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Steve
only,
Goodwin was on. Ross Howe was on. Yeah. I've read it all. And all his dancers. Yeah, it saved the show. Yeah, but he
Wow.
did jump out the window.
that's a Fight Fan TV live exclusive right there, guys.
It is, yeah.
That is an exclusive.
That's
That
true.
even if Ben Doughty didn't know it, then you know that's a Fight Fan
But
exclusive.
to be fair, that all I wrote in that thing.
Don't backtrack, Ben.
No, I'm
It
not
didn't
backtracking. It's written. Listen, it's written in stone. What I've written. What I
You read
basically
it.
said is, it is said that he faked a heart attack and escaped with a gents all at
Oh,
the
you
window.
believe that? No.
That is
Anyway,
what it said,
turned
and
out-
that is what is written in various reports that exist.
It
you
was
know.
a ticket tout.
Huh?
It was a ticket tout, Alan Lacey. Done a load of tickets. These are VIPs. Anyway, coming from that, Alan Lacey, what's that group? The big rock group from the 70s. Rock and roll group. Oh.
ACDC?
Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin, yeah.
Right. Anyway, they had a concert at the O2, that comeback concert for Armett's thingy. A big thing, the only one-off concert at the O2. I had some competition for win tickets, right? They come in, a couple of days later, they run me up. Oh, you won tickets for the Led Zeppelin concert at the O2. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, okay then. Brilliant. Run me mate up, said I won tickets. You want them? No, I'm in Egypt. I can't go. Anyway, rung Alan Lacey up. He said, yeah, I'll get them. How much you want? I said, how much you work? Oh, I'll get you about 500-600 quid. Bar. Went there, got tickets. You have to have wristbands as well, go with it. They give you 2 tickets, 2 wristbands. Oh, yeah, I'll put it on. Yeah, no problem. Walk away. You sure? I'm a Cockney geezer. I know how to shuffle. Anyway, turned out 800 quid cash. Sold 2 tickets for Alan Lacey.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 tickets for Led Zeppelin at the O2. But Alan Lacey put on the white collar shows. Yeah, he was made a few quid on there.
Yeah, well, Alan was the first guy to start the whole white collar thing, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, the white collar, the real white club, he called it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and Spencer involved. Yeah.
Yeah.
You put them on Kensington somewhere and other places.
Yeah, Kensington
Kensington
Hall, where he did the Hard Knock for Life. So that was where Junior Saeed made his pro debut when he came in on a
Moped.
this kind of
Yeah.
on this hoverboard type thing, and he did a few shows at York Hall as well, featuring the likes of Choi, Tony Salem, the Lick, what was his name?
Nathan Graham.
Graham.
Graham, yeah.
Yeah, Adnan, the Sheffield guy who beat him, he was really good. Good mover. Yeah, good show down there.
Yeah. It's
Adil
a shame in a
Anwar.
way Spencer's not still doing that, but I
Do
guess.
you remember Adil Anwar?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Adil Anwar, as well as losing to Darren Hamilton, you know, in Darren's second defence of the light welterweight title, British title. I didn't know this. Someone said to me once, Ben, did you know that Gary Barker, you know, Darren's younger brother who tragically died, he said, did you know he fought Adil in the amateurs? And I said, I didn't know. And then someone showed me the video and it was me in the corner. And I said, well, obviously, I obviously did know, but I didn't know that was Adil Anwar. To me, he was just a Anwar on the programme. I didn't realise it was him. But yeah.
Yeah, NABC.
Say again, Eric?
It's NABC's.
What, Gary and...
Gary and Anwar, yeah, NABC's.
No, it wasn't the NABCs, it was the grown-up ABAs because he fought Bradley Saunders in his next fight.
No, the NABC's.
It wasn't the NABCs, it was the pre-quarter final at Barnsley.
What was it?
I was in the corner.
I've got it on film.
I'm pulling rank with it. I was there vibe now, this time.
I've got it on film.
Yeah.
You know that pre-quarters at Barnsley?
The pre-quarter finals before he went to Liverpool and he lost to Bradley Saunders. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I remember Gary Barker in the ABAs that year when he fought in the Crystal Palace Sports Centre.
Yeah, beat Danny Davis.
Yeah, and he used to do this thing with his trunks a lot, where he's like this.
Yeah. That's exactly what he did, his southpaw stance. He would always adjust in the trunks to his satisfaction because he had low hands sometimes anyway and he had good upper body movement. And he would, like you say, adjust those shorts. The other thing is he wouldn't sit down in the corner. He didn't want to stall.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Yeah, I think I took the photographs because Repton had a show the night after the Scotland show at the Prince Regent.
Yeah.
And Gary that was there. I took photos in the ring. Frank Bruno was there. And then next day we found out he died in a car crash.
I was with him a day before that show as well because we went to Edinburgh. Repton went on a trip to Edinburgh. Yes. We went to a trip to Edinburgh for the Friday night. I'm guessing, yeah, we went there Friday, boxed on the Friday night, stayed on the Friday night, went clubbing. I remember Gary had everybody doing these shots of Sambuca. There was like black Sambuca, but for some reason he said you had to turn it upside down and then put a straw to it and suck up the fumes or whatever. All good fun.
Things kids do.
Huh?
The things kids do.
I know. I was still doing it then as well. But yeah, I remember, you know what? Him and a fella called Ricky Beasley, who's a good guy who trains the kids at Rosehill now and could have had a good career if he didn't get sidelined and did a long sentence. Him and Gary stayed out all night. They come in at 6 in the morning to the Edinburgh hotel. They just had time for breakfast. They hadn't been to bed. And that was the thing because then Gary went home. We got a flight home back to Heathrow, I think it was, and then he went straight to the show at the Prince Regent that night. And then rather than go to sleep still, he's been up since Friday night. He tries to drive in the early hours of Sunday morning to go and see his girlfriend. You know, it was like I can't remember where she was at college, but I know he hit the crash barriers Dunstable way, didn't he?
Yeah. They said.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
We're going to finish this up, mate.
Yes. So,
any other boxing questions you want to ask me? About any other boxers?
Now, the last thing we're going to touch on is the predictions for. Let me land, Eric. The predictions for Chris Eubank Jr. versus Liam Smith in Liverpool.
Liam Williams, sorry. What am I talking about? Liam Williams
versus Chris Eubank Jr. next month.
I suspect Eubank probably will win one way or another, but I might quite fancy Williams if the Andrade fight hasn't taken too much out of him. But if I had to bet either way, I have a feeling Eubank will get his hand held up somehow. Yeah, and Tony?
I'm still interested to see how Roy Jones is affecting Eubank Jr. because they're doing a lot of work together. Obviously, the last fight, we didn't really get to see anything that great. You know, the opponent wasn't sufficient to test Eubank. And I think he's the kind of fighter that at this stage in his career is going to revert to type. So I'm very interested in. I like the kid. I think he's got, you know, I like that he's dedicated to the sport. He's, you know, a true warrior. I think he will fight anybody anywhere, but I just think he's been badly moved in terms of the way his career's been sort of landed. I expect him to beat Williamson. Yeah. And
lastly, Eric, your predictions?
Yes, listen, because Christopher is a good boxer. Boxes well, he put a shuffle. Listen, Christopher is the boxer. Yeah, I think Roy Jones does add things to it. I think Eubanks, he's good. I don't know. I mean, I don't really follow the boxing, but I've got to go with Eubanks.
Yeah, I'll go with Eubanks as well.
You know what, you just got Barry Jones. You just got Barry Jones suddenly come on.
Oh, Barry, who are we going to delete then, or who goes more? You get more than 4?
You can't do more than 4. I'm just saying. There's various people watching.
Give it to me then.
Huh?
Yeah, Barry Jones. I assume Barry Jones.
Me.
I assume Barry.
Which I know.
He's well.
No one likes Danny anyway.
He hasn't requested to come on. He just happens to be watching. That's all I mentioned.
Yeah. So
the head hair, the Sarge.
Yeah.
You remember. But yeah, guys, I think that's about a good conclusion to this live. Thank you very much, Eric Guy, Tony Cox, Ben Doughty. It's been a really interesting one. It's Danny Glover from Fight Fan TV. Remember, guys, persistence beats resistance.
Daniel, it's nice seeing you again, mate. Nice seeing you.
Take care, man.
Take care.